Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. McNuggets, we talked a little bit about Shador. We're going to get into these receiver archetypes. And no, we're not talking about Madden.
No, we're talking about NFL draft prospects. Take the names out of the equation for this. But the Browns obviously have a need at receiver. They could go receiver at 6. In your opinion, G, what type of receiver do you think the Browns are going to need the most? You look at the different top prospects. You have Makai Lemon, who's as Todd McShay describes, a power slot guy, a guy who lines up mostly in the slot, but not just a quick, shifty, agile guy, has a little bit more power to his game. You have the ultimate route technician in Carnell Tate, or you have the explosive, dynamic X in a Jordan Tyson type receiver. Take the names out. I don't really care if you prefer Tyson, Lemon, Tate. From an archetype position, G, do you think the Browns are most suited and most need a super route technician, an explosive athletic freak on the outside at the X position, or a superstar in the slot? Which one would you go with?
I'm going to go, as always, I'll be deviating from the game plan. I want a super professional.
What is that?
Listen, I want a super pro. I want to do who you know where the heck he going to be at. If it's 3rd and 6, he going to run his route at 7 yards, not 5. You got a guy that's going to tap the toe and get it in bounds. I need a guy that the quarterback, when they run a route, he sees cover 2. The receiver sees cover 2, and he sits down in the middle of the field in the zone and knows where exactly he's supposed to be. Jason said something in the last segment, which I agree with. There is, and Earl, you alluded to it too. With Shador Sanders, I like his playmaking ability. I like it. I like the fact that he will throw the ball deep. But what I also want to work on is I want to work on being able to not only play out of structure and create plays and extend plays, but I want to be able to hit my 3rd step and take my layups. And I need my receiver to be there to take the layup and to finish finish your breakfast. So for me, I like Jordan Tyson, but to me, the athleticism is there, but the injury record is scaring the heck out of me. I can't do that. He ain't ran since last year. He might not even run it to combine. So I get athletic, that's cool. But guess what? In the pros, everybody's an athlete to a certain extent. I love Makai Lemon, but they're deploying him from the slot. Now, if you're going to run an offense where you're spot shadowing and running an offense through the slot, then Makai Lemon makes a lot of sense, right? But for me, I would say the guy that most feels the need to me is Carnell Tate and the way he goes about it. When I watch him, and I've come full circle, when at first it was Carnell Tate, I've arrived back at Carnell Tate. When you watch him, he looks like a professional receiver. He knows what to do. He never looks overwhelmed. He catches the ball with his hands. He throws it back to the line judge, and he lines back up again, and let's get it ready to do it again. To me, I like consistency. You can run real fast, but if you ain't consistently catching the ball or consistently doing what we need you to do, I can't play you, and I'm not going to be able to maximize your utility. So for me, I think Carnell Tate is the most pro-ready.
Mike, what would you say Jerry Jeudy's archetype is before I answer this question?
I would say he's a route technician. My best guess on Jerry Jeudy.
All right, so we already have a route technician in the building. Isaiah Bond is probably your burner, take the top off the defense type of guy. So now it becomes, if I'm Todd Monken or the Cleveland Browns, whoever's making these decisions, how can I complement the wide receivers that I have in the building the most? And for me, if I was choosing, go get me 1 million receivers that's built like Josh Gordon. Guys
Right.
that's 6'3", 6'4", over 200 pounds, that can run like deer, that can run multiple routes, that you just know you can trust no matter what.
You know Jeremiah Smith don't come out the next year.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
Or Cam Coleman.
Yeah, I know that. You know, a brother could dream.
You're right.
A brother could dream. But, for me, it would be, let me add some wide receiver archetypes that kind of mesh with what I have here in the building. I am of the belief, G and Jason, that the Browns are going to draft 2 wide receivers in this upcoming draft. Now, whether you take a Makai Lemon and you can pair that with a Chris Brazzell, later on, or if you take a Carnell Tate and you can pair that with a Omar Cooper Jr. or a Casey Concepcion. However you want to go about it, you just got to make sure that you are able to complement the wide receivers that are here so that you can get the most out of the group in its entirety, right? I do like what you said about giving somebody that's consistent and actually a constant pro, right? knowing where their sticks is. If you need 6 yards, make sure you're running that dig route at 7 yards, right? Just knowing exactly what's going on and how to be a constant pro. So for me, I think it's multiple archetypes that the Cleveland Browns need. It's hard for me to say, though, Mike, which one they need the most, because they need to just be able to complement what they have here with some quality players. So any combination of a Brazel with a what's the dude name from Clemson, Antonio Williams, or Omar Cooper Jr.
Elijah Surratt has been lost.
Surratt has been lost. So like, give me one of those guys that I can put inside, and a guy that I can put outside. And now I'm looking at it. Okay, I got multiple dudes that I can move inside, multiple dudes I can move outside. They all have different dynamics to their game that complement one another. And you still got Harold Fanning there, that can catch the football as well. So,
well, Mike's, I think I'm fairly aligned with you. Mike's original question was take the names out of it. Just ideally, what do they need?
Yeah, what archetype of a guy?
I think they need size.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
They need give me an X with some size who can go get it. And Cedric Tillman was supposed to be that. He ain't.
He ain't that.
He hasn't been. Just because you're 6'3" doesn't mean you're a great NFL receiver.
That's facts.
And it's so weird because when they first got him, I thought, okay, well, there's the guy who's going to be the high point in the end zone on corner fade routes. I don't think we've seen one.
No.
Not one.
He's like a bird.
I don't recall one.
He's a bird that can't fly. He's like a penguin.
David Njoku was getting all those.
I mean, think about it.
He's a bird. I never see you in the air. He's a penguin. I'll never see you in the air. You just a big bird. You're a big bird. Never, no flapping, nothing. Don't even try.
Can you recall one corner fade route to Cedric Tillman where he could go high point the ball?
No.
Not one.
No. He wasn't even in the playbook.
Tillman he had that great 2-game stretch with Jameis that we all got incredibly hyped about.
One end of those corner end zone high points, though.
No. I'm not saying they were. I'm just saying he had those 2 really good games back to back, and other than that, he has been a pipe dream. It's been all projections for Cedric Tillman and no production.
It's wild.
He's a specimen too up close. You go to practice, you be like, dang.
Oh, he's laid some dudes out on blocks.
Man, I'm like, this dude is a specimen.
Like, you see him in practice. He came into the NFL with an already pro-ready body.
Yeah.
Right? You thought that he was gonna hit the ground running, and like you just said, everybody 6'2", 6'3" ain't no NFL wide receiver. Like, guys that's built like Josh Gordon don't have the talent of Josh Gordon.
No.
I need a guy with some size on that outside that can go get the football.
Yeah, that to me is the biggest need, regardless of name. And that's why it's so frustrating about some of the injuries with Jordan, is I think he fits a lot. I don't know how tall he is. I think he's in that range.
He's 6'1", 6'2". I mean, I stood right next to him, man. He's not a little receiver by any means.
Carnell's probably, 6'2"-ish?
Yeah.
He's listed at 6'3".
He's listed 6'3". Okay. So, yeah. So, listen, if they take Carnell Tate at 6, I won't be sad.
Me neither.
At all.
Me neither.
I still think they're going to trade down, but if they stay at 6 and take him, I think it's exactly what this offense needs. So, yeah, I would love to see a receiver with some size who can go get it and help a quarterback out because, man, they just haven't had that. They just don't have a lot of size at that position outside of Tillman, who we just haven't really seen much out of.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, and Tyson's injury history is it's obviously concerning. I don't think you could take him at 6 with that injury history, but from a pure archetype standpoint, when you have the technician in Judy, when you have the deep threat with Isaiah Bond.
It's at least 7 archetypes.
Right.
We've heard. So that's your word of the day.
Archetype.
Archetype at least 7 times.
I'll find a way to weave it into our Cavs topic next too, I promise. But when you have all those things already, the one thing missing is the big physical guy on the outside that can win one-on-one balls, right? And I go back to the one pass against the Chicago Bears last year. Shador threw
We were just
talking
about that.
We literally just talked about that.
Yep.
Threw it to Jerry Jeudy. It's a really good throw. Ended up hitting Jeudy right in the numbers. He bobbled it. Ends up being an interception. That's when you say the stats don't matter, and that's 100% accurate.
Yep.
But you don't have a guy on the outside that you feel confident throwing the jump ball to coming down with. And Shador threw a pick. I think it was the Tennessee game where the Pittsburgh game where he just chucked it up there.
Yeah.
And maybe he was thinking it's Travis Hunter in college. He can go get it, but it was Jerry Jeudy. It didn't work out. You feel a lot better throwing up to a guy with the athleticism and the size of a true legitimate X, which they just currently don't have on the roster outside of Cedric Tillman. And I don't know how you can count on Cedric Tillman moving forward.
Yeah.
It's funny Mike put it that way because I can remember them Josh Gordon days. You didn't care who the quarterback was. You knew if you put the ball out there and Josh was out there, you felt confident as a Browns fan Josh Gordon was coming down with that football.
How many plays last year did you see Julian Sayin make at Ohio State where it was he's down there somewhere?
Yep.
He's down there somewhere. But go pick one of them. Just go pick one. Let it go.
Yeah, those are the receivers. We talked about in the break. We talked about the Vikings game, and the Browns had did a pretty good job of stopping them. And then all of a sudden, Addison and Justin Jefferson was like, you know what? They're going to throw the deep balls to us, and we're going to catch them. You're going to lose. The Browns don't have the bailout plan. They don't really necessarily have that. And I think when you look at the offense, if you can get one of those receivers and he's a day one starter, whether it's in a slot, whether it's in the outside or whatever archetype you like, give me a starting receiver archetype, and you know it when you see it. So, we'll be interested to see what they go. A lot of people think trade down, and we might get to that as well.
Before we get to break, I put this in the chat. Which type of receiver, I won't even use the word, but which kind of receiver do the Browns need most?
Well, archetype.
58% went with the physical, athletic X outside receiver as the type of receiver.
What was second?
The route technician and the super slot was third with just 9%.
Shout out to the new chat. We got to come up with a new name for that. We got to call it something.
That's not the new chat. That's the old chat.
That's
the OG chat. I ain't gonna call
This
it
was
old.
a YouTube. This was a YouTube poll.
That's the stat chat.
So we got two chats now.
We got two chats going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this chat been on the block.
Yeah, so we ready to go, man. Easy money.
Yeah.